Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Lady Remarkable, ASMR. Tonight we're doing something a little different. We're going to Stars Hollow. If you're a Gilmore Girls fan, I have 20 questions for you. Some of these should be pretty easy. Some might make you think. And by the end, we'll see if you're actually a Gilmore Girls superfan. For every question, I'll give you a few quiet seconds before I reveal the correct answer. Are you ready? Let's begin. Let's start with a classic. Who owns Luke's Diner? A. Luke Danes, B. Taylor Dosey, or C. Kirk Gleason? Have you chosen? If you picked A. Luke Danes, give yourself a point. Let's keep things simple. What is Lorelai's daughter's name? A. Rory, B. Lane, or C. Paris? Which one did you choose? A. Rory is the correct answer. Now for something very important in the Gilmore universe. What does Lorelai famously love to drink? A. Tea, B. Coffee, or C. Hot chocolate? Think about all those trips to Luke's. If you chose B. Coffee, you got it. Let's talk about Rory's friendships. Who is Rory's best friend? A. Lane Kim, B. Paris Geller, or C. Madeline Lynn? Picture Rory growing up in Stars Hollow. Who was always there? A. Lane Kim. Last one in the easy round. Who are Rory's grandparents? A. Richard and Emily. B. George and Emily. Or C. Richard and Helen? The answer is A. Richard and Emily. If you've got all 5, you're off to a very good start. Here's a slightly sneaky one. Before Rory transferred to Chilton, which high school did she attend? A. Hartford High. B. Stars Hollow High. Or C. Woodbridge High? If you chose B. Stars Hollow High, you are correct. Let's go back to Rory's early dating life. Who was Rory's first boyfriend? A. Jess Mariano. B. Logan Huntsberger. Or C. Dean Forrester? And the correct answer is C. Dean Forrester. Here's one about Lorelai and Suki. Before they opened the Dragonfly Inn, where did they work together? A. The Dragonfly Inn. B. The Independence Inn. Or C. The Stars Hollow Inn? B. The Independence Inn. Let's see how well you remember Rory's internship. Which newspaper did Mitchum give Rory an internship at? A. The Yale Daily News. B. The Stars Hollow Gazette. Or C. The Stamford Eagle Gazette? If you chose C, the Stamford Eagle Gazette, give yourself another point. Halfway through the medium round, here's one about Taylor. What position does Taylor hold in Stars Hollow? A. Mayor, B. Town Selectman, or C. Town Sheriff? Think about all those town meetings. B. Town Selectman. All right. Now we're getting into the details. These are the questions where knowing the main characters isn't necessarily enough. Let's talk about the Puffs for a moment. Paris tells Rory about one particularly famous former member. According to Paris, what year was Sandra Day O'Connor puffed? A. 1944, B. 1946, or C. 1948. This is a tiny detail, so don't feel bad if you have to think about it. Have you made your choice? If so, the correct answer is B. 1946. Did you remember that? Paris says Sandra Day O'Connor was puffed in 1946, became president of the Puffs in 1947, and moved the group to Rory's table in 1948. Let's talk about Lorelai and her father for a moment. Despite their complicated relationship, Lorelai once remembered a particularly good day she had with Richard when she was younger. What did Richard do for Lorelai after her boyfriend broke her heart on her 13th birthday? A. He took her shopping. B. He took her to the movies. Or C. He took her to the country club. Think back to the mall, the giant pretzel, and that unexpected afternoon with her father. The answer we're looking for is B. He took her to the movies. Let's see if you remember Luke from before he became, well, Luke. What was Luke's high school nickname? A. Butch, B. Duke, or C. Hoss? Think about that old photograph. If you chose A, Butch, you remembered one of Luke's more embarrassing moments. Here's a really specific one. Do you remember when Emily discovered that Lorelai had once broken her leg? Which episode did that happen in? A. Rory's dance. B. Rory's birthday parties. Or C. Kiss and tell. Think back to Emily finding that photograph and realizing Lorelai had never even told her about the injury. Which episode was that? The answer is B. Rory's birthday parties. Emily discovers the photograph in season 1's Rory's birthday parties, and Lorelai explains that she broke her leg 3 years earlier during a yoga class. Let's talk about one of Logan's gifts to Rory. He once left her a very unusual little keepsake, a rocket. What was the rocket a reference to? A. Star Trek. B. The Twilight Zone. Or C. Battlestar Galactica. This one is definitely for the long-term fans, so take your time. The correct answer is B, the Twilight Zone. All right, 5 questions left. These are the ones I really want to know if you remember, because if you get these, you might actually be a Gilmore Girls encyclopedia. Let's see how well you remember Rory's 21st birthday. What kind of cake did Rory choose? A. Chocolate mousse. B. Double chocolate crunch praline. Or C. Strawberry shortcake. And the answer is B. Double chocolate crunch praline. Here's one about Lane and one of her early crushes. Who was the boy Lane had a crush on before she liked Dave Rogowski? A. Tristan Dugray. B. Henry Cho. Or C. Brian Hutchins? Think about those early episodes, the secret phone calls, and Lane trying to keep things from her mother. Which one did you choose? Hopefully you chose B. Henry Cho. Let's go back to the Festival of Living Art. Rory was chosen to recreate a famous portrait. But what was the name of the painting? A. Portrait of a young girl named Anthea. B. Girl with a pearl earring. Or C. Portrait of Madame X. The correct answer is A. Portrait of a young girl named Anthea. Only 2 questions left, and this one is about Lorelai's dog. Before he became Paul Anka, what was his original name? A. Coco. B. Buddy. Or C. Sparky? The correct answer is A. Coco. Finally, the last question. I'm ending with a very specific Stars Hollow memory. In the Festival of Living Art, which famous painting did Kirk portray? A. The Last Supper. B. The Birth of Venus. Or C. American Gothic? Think about Kirk, his costume, and how seriously he took his role. The correct answer is A. The Last Supper. And that's 20. Well, you made it through all 20. Let's see how you did. If you got 0 to 5, you may have just wandered into Stars Hollow. If you got 6 to 10, you're definitely a Gilmore Girls fan. If you got 11 to 15, you really know your Stars Hollow trivia. If you got 16 to 19, I'm officially impressed. And if you got all 20, you are without a doubt a Gilmore Girls superfan. Maybe you should be running the town meetings. Thank you for spending some time with me tonight. I hope you enjoyed this little trip to Stars Hollow. Now go get yourself a cup of coffee and maybe watch an episode. Good night and sweet dreams.